excuse me. I'm going to try to set us up like this. Let me see if I can get this going here. Yeah, across the bottom. So now you know what's coming up, at least to some degree. Kind of taking a page from ESPN's book there, where you can kind of look on some of their programs and know, okay, they're going to be talking about this next. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a scripture reading. We're going to kind of move from that into a quick little game, which is worth more, and then we're going to kind of just move through it. So I don't know how well it'll go, but it'll be fun to try. And so we're going to start off with the scripture reading. And but what I'd like to do initially with that is talk about pennies. Now, this is the slide that was supposed to have my picture of pennies that I have available for us to discuss. And I'm so disappointed that I couldn't get this picture for whatever reason to go on there. But if I do that, it's going to rotate, isn't it? But these are the pennies. Trying to see if I can get to where you can actually see those. Ooh, it got worse. Yeah, you can't really see those. Anyway, those are supposed to be on the slide, and there's 9 of them. So, and I was going to ask you kind of which one was worth more. Now, since you can't see them, I want to ask you to try to make that determination. But you know, some of them are shiny, some of them are dull. There's one, I'm going to have to zoom in to tell. There's actually had Jaden looking at them to try to tell me what years were on them, because my eyesight wasn't good enough to see them. But there's one from 1996. It's a D penny. There's one from 2001. It's a real shiny, bright penny from 2001. There's a 1964 D penny. Again, I know you can't really see that, but since I don't have it on the slide, I thought I'd at least pop it on the screen. 1964. Then there's a 2017 D penny. It's in pretty decent shape. It's not too messed up. It's got a little discoloration there. There's a 1999 D penny. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's quite discolored. Looks like it might have sat in some acid or something for a while. I'm not sure where that one was left. 2010 D penny, and I still can't get you to see those. And let's see what else we got. 1973. I included that one because that was an important year. Yeah, it's the year I was born. maybe not so important, but it depends on your perspective. Important to some of us, at least. Then there's a 2006. Ooh, there's a nice shiny looking one. I would have thought that was like brand new, but it's 2006. And then there's a 1984. 1984, pretty good condition there. And I was going to ask you, like, what are these worth? Anybody here penny experts? Man, I can't see the comments here. Hang on, I gotta figure out another way to get where I can see these. All right, so now I can see the comments. Anybody a penny expert can tell me which one of those is worth more? It's kind of a trick question, to be honest with you, because the truth is they're all worth a penny, right? they're all worth 1 cent. You may be going, wait a minute, Chuck, I know a little bit about pennies here. You may be looking for the 1970 S Lincoln Memorial cent. You find one of those. And hi, Miss Vera. Thank you for letting me know. I'm getting a little delay on my comments here, but thanks for letting me know you can see it and hear it. I was definitely concerned about that. But you might be going, wait a minute, Chuck, if you find one of these 1970 S Lincoln Memorial cents, that thing's worth $61. It's a small date, so the date on it is apparently missized compared to what pennies are supposed to be. The 7 is a little bit higher than it's supposed to be, apparently. I'm not very good at spotting stuff like that. But you find one of these in your pocket, 1970 S series, it is apparently worth $61, according to USA Coin Book. And I got this information from a site called workandmoney.com. They had a thing about some of the valuable coins that are still in circulation. So you might be wondering, it's not worth a cent, it's worth $61. Or maybe you're saying, what about this one? The 1984, I had a 1984 here in the one I was looking at, but it's not one of these double-dyed coins. If you find a 1984 Lincoln Memorial coin, penny, I should say, that it has the double ear. Apparently, it got misstamped or got stamped twice. And you can I don't know if you can see it, how well you can see it on whatever device you're looking at, but Lincoln actually has like a second earlobe coming down below it because of the misstamp there. And because of that mistake, it makes these coins especially valuable to collectors. And that one is apparently worth about $252 if you have one. So maybe you're saying, no, see, you said they were all worth 1 cent. Well, I would challenge you. If you find that 1984 double die ear stamp penny in your pocket, I challenge you, go down to the local store and let's see, what costs $200? What can you get for $200 these days? Tank of gas. You go up to the gas station and you pump your gas. Hopefully it's not $200. Maybe it's $50 or $70, whatever it is to fill your tank up these days. And then you go in to pay for it. Give them that penny and say, "Hey, this is worth $250. I'm going to use it to cover my my gas that I bought. I need some change back. You owe me $200 back or $180 back." And see what they say. See if they, oh, okay, that sounds like a good deal. Now, I guess, granted, you could happen to run into someone who happens to be a penny collector or a coin collector that knows about that particular coin and its value, and also happens to work at that gas station and says, I know something about this. But chances are not. Its worth is 1 cent. It's a penny. That's all that it's worth if you take it in the store and try to use it. Now, there is some value, as we see, other outside of that. But they're still worth a penny. They're all worth the same if you try to use them as a coin for what they are. And that's kind of what I wanted us to talk about tonight is just that idea of worth. Get back to that slide. Your worth. How do you view yourself? We talked this morning in our series in Haggai about not comparing ourselves to others, and that comparison game can get kind of dangerous. And a lot of times that comparison game comes in us trying to determine our worth or our value. What is it about me that's important? What is it about me that's unique and valuable and useful? And the truth is, as we'll see through here, our value, our worth needs to come from God. He's the one that created us. He's the one that established our value. In Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, Paul writes, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus the good works, which God had before ordained that we should walk in them." Now, I know we did this verse not too long back, maybe a year or so back, but it's an important verse in my opinion, especially when we talk about the idea of comparison and not comparing ourselves to others, not getting into that mindset of, oh, I'm not good enough because I saw this over here. Paul's saying here that we are God's creation. We're what he made. And if you think about it, when someone makes something, someone makes a work of art, or they create something with their hands or their knowledge, and they, maybe it's a book or a story or a film, or it could be any number of things. They create something. We then look at that and say, okay, well, we either like it or we don't like it. We assign value based on how we like it. But the important thing is, from the person that made it, it's really their perspective and how they view it. And that's the way it is with us. When God created us, he gets to decide what our value is and what how much he views us. And he says here that we were created, we're his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus unto good works, which God has ordained that we should walk in. We are something God made. I love the fact that word workmanship. That just means it's something that was made. It's something that was fabricated or created. And in the trying to think which translation, in the NIV, he uses the word handiwork. For we are his handiwork. If you like to work with your hands, you have some skill. The things you make, that's your handiwork. We are God's handiwork. The New Living Translation says we are God's masterpiece. We're what he created. Think back to the creation. We'll look at a moment what God said at creation. When God created everything, he got to the end, what did he say? It is good. So that's what I want us to look at this evening. We do that. Let me see if I can get to the next part of this thing. All right, I'll do a quick game here. I have covered part of these Amazon screens. You may recognize that. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for there. That layout. Maybe that's the right word. You may recognize that layout. That is straight off of Amazon. We're going to play What's Worth More. Now, we have 3 items on here. This is kind of like The Price is Right, one of some of their games or whatever. So I'm going to be whoever used to do The Price is Right. Was that Bob Barker? I think it was. My screen's got something on that bugging me. So I want you to, I'm going to zoom this in a little bit more. Let me get me out of the way. And we've got 3 products here. And I want you to tell me which one costs more. And so first we have, it's probably hard to read that depending on your device, so I'll kind of read it to you. The first one in the item number, or item letter A, I'm changing letters to numbers. Item letter A is a Renfo powerful portable massage gun. Quiet, deep tissue mini workout gun massager for back, neck, percussion for foot massage, muscle massagers with 3,200 RPM motor, 2,500 mega ohm, I'm assuming is what that is, rechargeable battery gifts. So it comes in black and blue. They're the same price. The blue is the one that's showing on the screen here. And it's battery powered is what it says at the bottom. So that's the first item. That's A. B is Amazon Basics Nonstick Cookware Set. And also, by the way, what I want you to do is, as I go through these, I want you to tell me which one of these you think costs the most. Which one, I'm calling it what's worth more. We'll talk about that word worth in a moment. But which one do you think costs the most? Which one of these has the highest price? B is Amazon Basics Nonstick Cookware Set. Pots, pans, and utensils, 15-piece set. You can see them all there. There's 4 pots with lids. That counts as 8 items. That always threw me off. I'm like, there's only 11 pieces here. The lids count separately, apparently. Two frying pans, and then like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different utensils to go with it. It is the materials made of aluminum, and it includes an 8-inch fry pan, a 10-inch fry pan, 1.5 quart saucepan with lid, 2 quart saucepan with lid, 3 quart saucepan with lid, 5 quart casserole pan with lid, and 5-piece utensil set with pasta server. So that's item letter B. And then item C is a Discraft Weaker. It's a bag. It's a bag you put discs in for disc golf. Hunter likes to play disc golf, and he has a bag he uses to put the discs in. And if you're not familiar with the disc golf in its current form, they have these targets you're throwing the disc at. And see, I'm going to switch back so I can be on here too. I can get the focus. And so this is one of those disc golf bags. I'm going to have to make it big again. Hang on. I can't read it to you without that. It is made by Discraft. It holds 6 to 10 discs. And get the ticker off here real quick. Hide that. All right. It comes with adjustable strap, water bottle pocket, and an inner zipper pocket. It does not include discs. It does not include the bottles. That's what the bottom, very, very bottom thing said. I couldn't read till I got the little ticker off the thing. So, with that said, what does everybody think? What's the most expensive item here? I'm not seeing any comments yet. You can just put A, B, or C, or you can call it what you want to call it. Gun thingy, pots and pans, disc bag, however you want to vote. It gets you to vote on which one of these is worth more or cost more. While waiting on these responses. Okay, now I see them coming in. All right. While waiting on those, I also wanted to mention that I asked what's worth more. Which one of these is worth more? That's kind of a different question, actually, isn't it? Than what costs more? That's what something is worth. You're assuming is a value you're placing on it. Something may cost $40, but if you don't think it's worth $40, you may not pay it. So that's kind of a little bit of a trick there, I guess, on the question there. Worth and cost. Sometimes we make the same assumption with ourselves. We put our value in what somebody else is saying. Amazon has placed a value on these items, and so all right. So let me get over where I can remove the prices, and I don't know if you can see those or not. Let me zoom it in bigger. If you said A, you are correct. All right, Christy. Item number, thanks, Christy. I just now realized you did that. Item number A as I call it. Then you are correct. So, Christy, you got that one right. It's actually, got to zoom it in again. Oh, you zoomed in. Now I can't see it. $84.99. I know you can't see that if you're looking at this on a phone. I apologize for that. $84.99. The pots and pans are $53.03. Now, that seems like a pretty good bargain to me. A young couple's looking for some cookware. That's not a bad price. And the disc bag, golf bag, is $20. So again, because it doesn't include the disc or the water bottle. If it did, the price would go a lot higher than that. So yeah, so that's Amazon has placed a value on these. They say this massage gun thingy is worth $85, and some people agree. Some people buy it with their money. They vote and say, yes, I agree. This is worth $85 because they have a need for it. They like the effects of it, and so they pay for that. You might look at it and say, I'm not paying $85 for that. I don't have a need for it. Is it worth it then? It may not. Again, value and worth kind of come from different places, and we can assign value to something, but it doesn't always mean that's what it is. I can say I'll sell you this stack of pennies for a certain price because I think there's one valuable in here or whatever. It's only really worth that if you give it to me, right? There's a difference in value and cost in the sense that it's assigned by different people. So that's all right. So that was that game. Oh, hang on. All right. So now I want to kind of go back to that passage we just looked at that says we are His workmanship. We are what God created. Now, if you create something and someone criticizes it, that's kind of tough, right? That's why it's hard sometimes for people to be in creative roles. They make a story or a book or a movie, and people criticize it. You have to be willing to kind of take that criticism and take it. It's hard because you did something you were proud of. You did something that you worked hard on, and now other people are criticizing that. Can you imagine how God feels sometimes listening to us? I don't know about you. I certainly complain sometimes about how God made me, about the way that I am. God, why am I like this? Why can't I be like that? And I can only imagine God looking at it saying, you're what I made. I made you the way you are. And that's that's kind of what this passage is really getting at, is that God made us the way He made us. He made us and created us in Christ Jesus to do good works. He made us for a certain purpose, to serve Him in a certain way. And He ordained even beforehand that we would walk in that. And so that's that's an important piece to think about. Is we are what God made. If God can make anything in the world, and He can, He made you. Think about that for a moment. We need to be like the psalmist in Psalm 139, verses 14 to 17. He says, I will praise Thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are Thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Do we believe that? Do we believe that God has made us in a special way, that we are wonderfully made? Or do we just look at our imperfections and look at our shortcomings and say, I don't know, God, you might have messed up on this one? It doesn't sound so good when I say it like that, does it? It doesn't sound so. We would never challenge God so directly, but by our actions so many times, and by our complaints and by our thoughts, we are often doing that very same thing. He says, the psalmist here says, I will praise God because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And marvelous are Thy works. God doesn't make mistakes. God makes special things, and He made you. He goes on in verse 15 to say, my substance was not hid from Thee when I was made in secret and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. He says, you knew exactly what I was. You knew who I was going to be. You knew me even before I was formed. He said, thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. And in Thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. Psalmist says, even before I was formed and even before I became anything, you knew exactly what I was going to be. Even the areas of my life that are imperfect because of sin, because of our sin nature, God knew all of that and still made us a certain way, made us the way He made us. He goes on in verse 17 to say, how precious also are Thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them. You know what? If you're trying to put a value on yourself, look at it from God's perspective. Don't look at it from your perspective. Don't compare it to someone else and look at it from their perspective. Look at what God says. And the psalmist said, how precious are the thoughts of God's thoughts unto us, and how great is the sum of them. All right, now I want us to move into, if I can get this turned off, this, oops, I was in the right spot after all. Hide that one. We're going to go into, what's it worth? All right. quick little game here. I don't know how long it'll take, but hopefully it won't take too long. I've got a couple more items here, and what I want you to do is you give me a price. You tell me what you think what this would sell for. All right. So this is a face mask. We're still in the throes of pandemic mode, with all these variants coming out and still trying to be cautious and all of that. So you still have to wear a mask at times. This is one of those fancy masks. This is one I need for work. And it's a 3-pack. So there's 3 masks in this. When you think about that when you're making your guess here, it's a 3-pack. I'll read the description there because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So that's how it is. Momeep funny laughing mouth face mask scarf breathable washable balaclava with 2 filters for men and women adult. I don't know if I've ever heard a mask called a balaclava. I guess maybe by strictest definition of the word it might be, but I generally think of balaclavas as something a little more face covering or whatever. But all right, so Christy's going with $15. All right, Will's going to go with 9. All right. Now this is a clown mask. This is nice here. All right, Carol's going with 19. All right. Excuse me. I'll put these up there. I can't figure out how to get them back off. And $12.68. So I'll let y'all figure out who's closer, Will or Carol or Christy. Both about $3 away from it, so I don't know. I'm not doing math tonight. So $12.60 on the clown mask for a 3-pack. I don't think that's a very bad price for something as classic as a clown face mask there for this pandemic season. So if you're looking for a gift for my birthday, there you have it. All right, next gift. Bonsai. Next gift. No, I don't want all these as gifts. Next item. Bonsai starter kit, gardening gift for women and men. Unique DIY hobbies, craft hobby kits for adults. Unusual Christmas gift ideas for garden plant lovers or gardener mom's craft idea. That's a long title. I'm not sure that was written by a marketer there. But it also goes on to say, let me zoom this in a little bit, everything you need to bring the joy of growing bonsai into your or a loved one's life. In one sleek box, contains 4 types of seeds: Rocky Mountain bristlecone pine, black pool, navy Norway spruce, and flame tree. Stored in seed-safe packets for better germination. 4 burlap growing pots, 1 expanding soil disc, 4 bamboo plant markers, 1 bonsai clipper, and a beautiful, comprehensive, and simple instruction book. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of that. But what do we think this bonsai starter kit's going to go for? All right, so Christy's the first one I see coming in. She's saying $21.99. She's getting very specific. I almost makes you wonder if she's like pulling up Amazon as I speak. Which, knowing Christy, that is a possibility. I hear her in the other room going, I am not. All right, any more guesses on this bonsai starter kit? Again, I don't know how much lag we have here. I hope this stream is working better. You can let me know at the end if it is. All right, Will's going $32 on the bonsai starter kit. There's a lot of stuff there, so I'm impressed with the what was included in that description there. All right, let me see here. Carol's going $40. All right, so a good variety on the guesses here. Kind of hard to make a guess at something with that much detail in it, especially if you're not into bonsai. Now, maybe some of y'all are into bonsai and you knew right away. But the correct answer is $19.99. Now, judging by these guesses, I probably should be selling this today. I can give it to you not for $40, not for $32, not even for $21.99. I can give it to you today for $19.99 right here on Amazon. And it is Prime eligible, so it will ship for free if you're an Amazon Prime member. So, all right, next item. All right, this is our last one in this game. This is a BedSure wearable blanket hoodie. Long length hooded blanket sweatshirt for women, men, teens, Sherpa fleece blanket jacket. Again, I'm not sure if people are writing those descriptions there. That may be a computer generated thing. It's made Sherpa fleece. It's machine wash. I'm assuming that means machine washable. Surprisingly warm is what the description says. It's made of 220 GSM of thick, irresistibly soft polyester fleece and 200 GSM of fluffy polyester Sherpa. This wearable blanket showcases a smooth side that complements the fuzzy side, making for an excellent balance between warmth and comfort. Fabric length is 53 inches, and width, chest diameter is 32 inches. Kids wearable blanket hoodie is designed for the adult, who is generally 5'5" to 5'9". Now, I've chosen the adult size in this pricing. I also chose that pretty greenish blue color. Not quite sure what it is, but that's what I'm showing. And so that's how it's priced, is based on that color and the adult size. So what do we got here? Oh, Carol's going in first, I think, on this one. Let me make sure. Yeah, $39.99. All right, for this this wearable blanket hoodie. Just these descriptions crack me up. All right, Christy is going with $27.99. All right. Oh, wait. See, okay, yeah. All right, now I got Will's. All right, guys, I'm getting these comments mixed up from one to the next. So Will's going 15. So we got $39.99, $27.99, and $15. I think it's interesting too that some of our guesses here are probably based on what you would value that as well. You know, Carol and Christy are giving a little more value because they're probably the ones that are going, yes, wrap me up in something like this. Will, you and I are probably looking at that going, I want to get more than $15 for that. So anyway, how much is this thing? $49.99. So Carol got the closest on that one. It's interesting that all of us underguessed on that. So just shows you value versus the cost isn't always the same thing. What the value you assign to it may not be what somebody else assigns to it. Yeah, so $49.99 for that. Now, getting back to this idea of our worth and what the fact that God created us and we are His creation. Genesis 1:27. Remember, when God was creating us, he says, so God created man in His own image. In the image of God created He him. Male and female created He them. God created us in His image. And that in itself ought to give us an intrinsic value of who we are and what God has for us, how much God values us. He marked each one of us with His image. Even when that image was damaged by sin, He valued us. Our value and worth to Him didn't change just because of sin's effect on us. In fact, so God loved us so much that He came to die for each and every one of us. He deemed us worthy of sending His own Son to die for us. That in itself ought to show us our worth. When in your mind, that inner voice starts trying to tell you you're not enough, that you're not as good as this person, or you need to be more like that, remind yourself of this verse. When God commended His love towards you, and that while you were still a sinner, He died for you. God loved Chuck so much that when Chuck was a sinner, and Chuck had nothing to do with him, He died for me. That's where our value comes from. That is who we are in God. Now, those pennies I was going to show you, I was going to show them to you again right now, but unfortunately I can't. But I was going to show them to you and ask you to take a look at them and see how many of them had the phrase "in God" 1 cent on them. How many of them had the term 1 cent? And the truth is, all of them do, right? I mentioned before, they're all worth 1 cent. If you try to use them as a currency, as an exchange, they're all worth 1 cent. We're all worth the same. Romans 2 verse 11 tells us that God is no respecter of persons. Actually, I'll come back to that. Let's play a game before that. I had another game lined up, and I forgot to get to it. So let me see if I can get back, hide this, and get back where I can see your comments. All right. So yeah, so take me a little bit of time to get used to this. I'll get faster at this, I think, as we go. So let's play a quick game. We were talking about this idea of is it worth it? I've mentioned in the other games, like, what's the worth of this item? And then kind of like, okay, I changed the question on what's the price of this item? May not be worth it at all. We saw that with the hoodie blanket thing there that everybody kind of underguessed on. And then the other one, the Bonsai thing, everybody thought, wow, that probably is worth, that probably is that. They probably asked a good bit for that. And then turned out it wasn't all that expensive. And it just shows that difference in value and worth. So I want to play a quick game of is it worth it? And show you some of the expensive items that have sold over the years. I got this from a site called Slice, an article called The 100 Most Expensive Things in the World. And I thought it was interesting in our conversation here about how much things cost and what things are valued at. Obviously, if somebody pays a certain amount for it, that person thought it was worth that. But I want to ask you, do you think it's worth this? Get back to where I can actually see you. Okay. This is number 97 on their list of the 100 most expensive things. This is the world's most expensive anti-aging serum. You can buy this serum, rejuvenating serum lotion, for a mere $1,800 per ounce. Now that bottle right there is a 3-ounce bottle, so I'm guessing that's 3 times 1,800, whatever that comes out to be, 5,400 or something. I said I wasn't doing math on Sunday night, but so I ask you, is it worth $1,800 to you? Forbes has listed this as their most expensive anti-aging serum on the market. Christy says, no way. Not paying $1,800 an ounce for a cream that's supposed to make us age slower. All right, what about this? And you can feel free to chime in all along the way. Yeah, Will says, nope, not going to happen. All right, hang on. That takes me. All right, next on the list. And I just kind of picked some out at random. I didn't include their entire list, obviously. I was not trying to copy them. I was just using some of the things they had there. Thought they had a pretty neat little thing to show. Number 96 on their list was the world's most expensive sushi. Carol said thumbs down that last one too. No anti-aging cream at in the thousands of dollars per ounce there. But I know some of you probably like sushi. Sushi's one of those popular, trendy kind of things that people like to eat. Well, this nigiri sushi, however you say it, that was prepared by Chef Angelito Araneta Jr. of the Philippines, was priced at $1,978. The record-setting sushi, prepared back in 2010, was garnished with diamonds and wrapped in 24-karat gold leaf. Anybody, is that worth it to you? You got any sushi lovers that go, yeah, I'd pay $2,000 for a plate of sushi? Anybody? I think these are going to move pretty quick. I'm not going to wait a long time on answers here because I have a feeling I know what the answers are. That's why I chose these. It kind of gives that extreme thing of someone thought it was worth that. Sushi says no. Chris didn't like sushi to begin with, so she's certainly not paying $2,000 for some sushi. Oh, Carol's giving that the thumbs down too. All right, so yeah, we're not doing the $2,000 sushi. I like that, Will. Will says it better be anti-aging sushi, otherwise not gonna do it. That's pretty good. Combine those two together, and then we might be in the ballpark there. I like that. All right, next item: the world's most expensive cat. I can't imagine paying for a cat in the first place. I would almost pay to get rid of animals. But the world's most expensive cat, $24,000 for this California Spangled cat. I'm not sure that that's the actual cat there. It might be, not even sure. But they paid $24,000 for it. It was sold in 1987 at that record price. And interestingly enough, the cat was the display cat from the 1986 Neiman Marcus Christmas book. So, no, Christy, you're not buying a cat. But I guess if it's a famous cat, like it was featured in the Neiman Marcus Christmas catalog, no, it's still not worth $24,000. I'm pretty sure we all agree on that one, huh? Yeah. So, yep, Carol's going thumbs down on that cat too, and that's impressive. Carol's a cat lover too, so even cat lovers agree. $24,000 for a cat is not worth it. I see somebody thought it was worth it. Most of us would say otherwise. All right, what about a pair of jeans? Oh, Will got that last one. This is from the cat, but yeah, I got 3 thumbs down for Will, and Will's a cat lover too. So, yeah, $24,000 for a cat. That's just ridiculous. All right, most expensive jeans. How much do you love your Levi's? Love your denim? I actually don't like wearing jeans much at all. They just kind of feel heavy and not something I like a whole lot. Certainly wouldn't overpay for. But this pair of Levi jeans, original Levi Strauss and Company 501 jeans, sold for $60,000 via eBay online auction. Anonymous collector in Japan bought it back in 2005. The value in these jeans comes from the fact that they are believed to be one of the only couple of pairs of authentic pre-1900s Levi's that exist. This particular pair being the only wearable pair found to date. According to Guinness records, this pair of jeans was discovered by a group of friends that found the denim treasure in an abandoned mine in the Mojave Desert in 1998. And then turned around and whoever, I guess, had ownership of that sold these jokers for $60,000 for not just a pair of jeans, but a pair of jeans that were over 100 years old. Again, kind of perplexing me in more ways than one. So, yeah, I agree. That's crazy. All right. Next one. Number 15 on their list. The world's most expensive work by a living artist. So there's been a lot of artwork that is sold for astronomical amounts and made some of these lists. Some of the Cezannes and those famous paintings have sold for a lot of money, outranking even this. But this was the one that was sold while this artist was still alive. The work is called Balloon Dog Orange. I guess it fits. By an artist named Jeff Koons, and it was sold for $58.4 million by an anonymous buyer in New York City. So actually it says 58.3 there. So I don't know which one it was. Throw an extra $100,000 there somewhere. This art piece is stainless steel and it measures 12 feet tall. So if you wanted like, now I'm happy with my Mugsy pants. That would be expensive as well. That's funny. So yeah, getting some thumbs down here. No, Christy. Christy says cute, but where would I put that in the house? No, no. So yeah, if you got an extra $58 million lying around, you want a 12-foot stainless steel balloon dog, I should say. Yeah, that's a no-go for me. So, all right, next item. Trying to show some of these. Oops, that was the last item. Okay, the list goes on. I couldn't remember how many I included. I didn't get up into the high numbers. Obviously, 58.4 million is a high number, but they go a lot higher. This is only number 15. It goes all the way to 100. We ended up with like number 3 is like a yacht that was made for like up in the billions of dollars. I kind of have a feeling that we would all agree that's not worth it. In fact, I agree with Will's comment here. I feel sorry for whoever bought that. I agree. I've wasted some money before, but I can honestly say I've never wasted that much money in one place for something like that. So yeah, I knew a lot of these were going to be quick because there's a pretty easy answer. No, that's not worth that. But going back to that idea of our worth, Romans 2:11 says, "For there's no respect of persons with God." He's saying there that God doesn't pick favorites. He doesn't like one person better than another. He doesn't have his inner circle of special people and then another class of ordinary people. We were all created in His image. We were all created for His glory, and He doesn't. I like the way the NLT translate that. It says God does not show favoritism. He created us for a purpose. If we go back to that penny, which I would be showing you if I could have got that picture to load of all my little pennies I had there, I would ask you to say, how many of these say, "In God we trust"? And the answer is all of them. They all say, "In God we trust." And the big question is, do we really trust God? Do we trust God when He says that He values us enough to die for us? Do we trust God when He says He knows the hairs on our head? Do we trust God when He says, "My grace is sufficient for thee"? Our worth, our value should be found in Christ. And He has shown us that he values us infinitely. There's no end to God's love. There's no end to the way God feels about you. The way that psalmist said, the thoughts that he has toward us are amazing. So when you get tempted to look around, compare yourself, as we talked about this morning, that danger of comparison, just stop and say, let me see what God thinks about me. And go to the scripture and see what it says. He says, I made you in my image. You're my handiwork. You're what I created when I could create anything I wanted to. I chose to create you. And that's where real value comes from. You are valued. You are loved. You were loved so much that God went out of his way to make a way for us to have a relationship with him. That's a lot of value. Hope you had fun with this tonight. Sorry for all the little technical glitches here or there. I hope the stream quality was better. You can let me know if it was or wasn't any way you want to. But I know it kind of bouncing back and forth. I probably didn't do as clean a job of getting from one transition to the next. But hopefully it worked. And we'll try it again next week and see what happens. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hope you have a week that's filled with not comparison, but reveling in the fact that God has made you for a certain, to be a certain way, for a certain purpose. And he's doing certain things in your life. And all I ask you to do is to be strong, to not fear, and just go do the work he has for you. Love you all. Have a great week. If I can be of any help to you, don't hesitate to reach out. And I will talk to you again soon. I can figure out how to turn this stream off. It may take me a while to shut this down, so who knows.